I'll probably do another one sometime in the near future, focusing on someone I view in a more positive light.
Alright, let's do that then. Okay, so, as I said in the video, there are quite a few characters I like from the cast of Overwatch, and in order to keep this series from becoming the negative Nancy nitpick hour, I thought I would tackle one of those. So, without further ado, let us take a look at Mr. High Noon himself, Jesse McCree, otherwise known as anything above 0.1 sensitivity is too much. Now, as mentioned, McCree as a concept is quite simple and straightforward. Badass gunslinger cowboy pretty much sums up his whole design, but it's in the smaller details where I found appreciation for the character. That and the feeling of headshotting tracers. Oh yeah. I can totally do that, consistently. First off, his backstory is really cool. Quick summary, for those who don't know. Jesse McCree, bandit, outlaw, juvenile delinquent, probably never joins team voice chat, etc. Runs with the infamous Deadlock Gang, a notorious group of gun traffickers / arms dealers. Gets brought down mostly by then active Overwatch strike team. Everyone goes to prison except for young Jesse McCree, who is offered a position in Blackwatch, Overwatch's secret Black Ops branch, handling the more nuanced missions. Young Jesse accepts, reluctantly one would imagine, and is trained by Gabriel from the shadows, Reyes slowly becoming part of the crew. Then Reyes and Morrison have a falling out, stuff blows up, and Overwatch is disbanded, leaving Jesse McCree as a wandering gunslinger who is trying to right the wrongs of his past with his deeds in the present. Pretty nifty. There are multiple reasons why I like this backstory, but the main one has to be the fact that the character goes through quite a few changes during these events. And unlike a certain blue or purple sniper I could mention, McCree's changes stem from his personality and growth as a human being. At first he's a young punk. For what reason and how he got there, sadly we don't know, but let's just assume rough childhood, neglectful parents, not having any healers on his team or something of the sort. Then he goes into anti-hero territory, joining Blackwatch and doing the shadier missions, but still playing along with the good guys. Slowly but surely he becomes one of the team, as is evident from this lovely picture of the gang back in the day, which has 2 healers by the way. Then, when Overwatch is disbanded, he becomes a straight up good guy, roaming the land trying to make up for past mistakes, which is a clear sign of feeling guilt for said mistakes. It paints the picture of someone going from irresponsible outlaw to justice dispensing lawman. Well, not a man of the law per se, but you get it. The other reason this background really works is because it ties him directly to at least 2 of the other characters in the game, namely Reaper and Soldier 76. Reaper being the one who trained him, and Soldier probably being the one who gave the permission to do so, since he was the commanding officer of Overwatch, something I'm sure Reyes was more than aware of. By giving the character an established connection to the other ones, he feels more integral to the story and the setting, while also informing us a little bit about those characters as well. We learned that Reyes was actually willing to socialize with others and is a good mentor and maybe even a much needed father or big brother figure to McCree, something that would have been difficult to imagine just going by his Angel of Death persona, and it shows that Morrison was either willing to take risks with a well-known outlaw, or trusted Reyes enough to handle someone like him, or was just such an idealist that he believed anyone can change for the better, or all 3. It's these small glimpses into the characters' identities that make a background worthwhile. Reason number 3 is less of a goody two-shoes. If you take a close look at some of the other agents, or former agents of Overwatch, you'll notice that a lot of them are so noble and nice and just plain squeaky clean that it almost borders on sanctimony. Not so much McCree. While Farah and Reinhardt are all about justice, usually raining from above, and protecting the innocent, you get the feeling that McCree is more about punishing the guilty. He also has a very devil-may-care attitude, which contrasts well with someone like Mercy, who is constantly worried about, well, everything. Sure, Soldier doesn't play by the rules anymore, and Tracer isn't exactly the one to be caught up in the details, but the former has a very stoic and straightforward way of doing things, while the latter is still such an upbeat idealist that an ex-outlaw, ex-Black Ops renegade still sticks out as the bad boy of the group. Now, since I really like the backstory of this character, it would be quite silly and egotistical of me to present an alternative one. So instead of dwelling on the past, let us take a critical look at the future by listing a few things I'd like to see to make our favorite cowboy even more fleshed out. Number 1. A little more of his edge. As was said previously, McCree is a much, shall we say, layered personality than a lot of the other characters in Overwatch, and it would be cool to see that brought to the forefront a bit more. Maybe a few voice lines expressing a penchant for action or even violence. Kind of like the "I ain't much was standing around" line, or a few tidbits showing us that even though he's trying to help people, he doesn't exactly consider rules all that important as long as the job gets done. Just a few glimpses of the rebellious young man he used to be. Number 2. His feelings towards some of the other characters. Despite there being numerous back and forths between McCree and the other characters, they're usually just general quips and boasts. Did all the former agents welcome this former arms dealer criminal with open arms? Did all of them warm up to him eventually? Are there some of them who still don't like or even trust him? Does Farah and Reinhardt mind that he was/is an outlaw? Maybe Hanzo feels a kinship with the cowboy, since he too has kind of lost his way and is roaming around searching for purpose, trying to make amends. Also, it would be really interesting to hear some of McCree's thoughts on his former former mentor and his current state. Aside from mentioning that someone had to do it, seems fitting it'd be me, when killing an enemy Reaper, there really isn't all that much to go on. Did he truly respect Reyes? Is he grateful that he took a chance with him? What are his feelings on his mentor's fall from grace? Saddened? Angry? Apathetic? We know that, with the possible exception of Ana, Reaper regards everyone with utter disdain, since that's how he rolls nowadays, but that would just make it that much more interesting if his protege hadn't given up on him. Finally, some skins. Okay, brand time. Let me get this straight. Torbjorn, who was an engineer, researcher, builder, and whatnot, and always wished his inventions to be used for good and the benefit of others, gets a Deadlock Gang skin. Jesse McCree, who was an outlaw and part of said illegal arms dealer gang, doesn't. Well, okay then. Also, we have a young version of characters like Genji, Soldier 76, Ana, Reaper, and Hanzo, but not McCree. Like, I get that it's cool to see Genji before his constant need of healing, and the old guard in their prime, and Hanzo without a beard, I guess, but who wouldn't want to see McCree in his early days in some badass Sons of Anarchy outfit? I mean, come on. Oh yeah, and get him a Blackwatch skin. Touché, Blizzard.